everybody, and welcome back to Photographer Life Check. This week, or excuse me, I'm your host, Qurissy, and this week we have the incredible Nai. Brr, 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 brr. Hey,
Sorry.
hey, hey. Nai, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I've been watching and keeping up, so I'm excited to be on.
I'm
Yeah.
gagged. Thank you so much. I like to start off like we always do with the photographer fit check. I want to get into a little bit about what you're wearing because eventually this podcast will be in person and we can go through the fits together and have a whole shoot. But until then, we're going to work with what we got. So it could be
Yeah.
scarf, jewelry, top, however you feeling.
Well, first of all, I'm a scarf girly. I think it's because like I'm always on the move and I'm like, I need something that's gonna still lay the edges, but still be kind of cute, So definitely got a scarf on. Love a little simple necklace. I forgot where I got this from, but also just a cute little tube top. That's it.
Oh, period. She stood up
Cute
for
little
us
walk-in.
today. Come
Cute.
on.
And that's really it. Just comfort, cozy, like that's pretty much me. And I love olive. Like I realize that I have a lot of like olive, like green kind of colors. So yeah, that's what I got on today.
Yeah, I really, really love that necklace too. That looks really
Yeah,
pretty.
thank you.
Photographer fit check for me. I'm on the same wave. I got my scarf today, a little lay situation.
Uh-huh.
My top today is from Gap. It's
Okay.
just a little active, casual wear. You know what I'm saying? I got on jogging pants under this. I
Yup.
had to walk my dog before this. We was
I
outside.
feel that. I feel that.
Cute. Okay, so let's get into the life check. So, first life check I actually want to start off with is that it's our 6 month anniversary.
Hey, let's go.
I am so proud of this milestone. I'm proud that you could be our 6 month guest. We have so much of your incredible work to go through. And with that being said, I wanted to like add like some changes to how we flow things a little bit. And one thing that I found with this portion of the show is that photographer life check, which is just a life check in, kind of like stumbled people a little bit. They were like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I don't know what to say. So I wanted to get a little more specific. Initially, it was like life in general. And I thought maybe it would add less pressure on people to be like, oh, this is going on in my career or this is going on in my personal life. So I want to just be specific. So, photographer life check is what's happening in your career right now. So, for
Okay.
example, that could be something that's just standing out to you. It could be a project that isn't out yet, but that you're excited that you're working on, an experience that you had, or even like a pivot you're taking. So, with
Okay.
that context, now that we're a new little photographer life check, what's your photographer life check today?
My photographer's life check today. Okay, so I would say I'm gonna try and make it short, but
Mhm.
I feel like the last year I had dealt with like family issues and the decline of my grandfather, and so that kind of just put me like in a different headspace. And so, to be honest, I wasn't as excited about creating, and I think it was just because my mom was overwhelmed with everything else in real life, right?
Yeah.
So I would say today, though, I'm back in a better space. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm doing more passion projects. So I'm excited about that. Like, more so just not even like planning out a whole mood board, but more so like, girl, what you doing today? Come outside, put on a cute fit. Like,
Right.
to do when I first started. And so I was like, I haven't had that kind of feeling in a long time. And so I've been feeling good being able to like just call up the homegirls, or even if it's just somebody I'm chatting with on Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh, what you doing tomorrow? Or what you doing next week?" And not put too much pressure, and we just kind of casually flowing. That's been
Yeah.
really good for me. So that's honestly like the space that I'm in right now is trying to treat it just how I was when I started 10 years ago. So yeah, I'm kind of just in my exploring phase, and then on top of photography, dabbling in like directing and things of that. So just making cute little videos, working on a documentary with one of my
Cute
friends.
little videos. This girl be posted all the time. They're
Oh,
great videos.
thank you, thank you. I say cute because I'm like, I need to commit to doing a full thing. I always do all these
Yeah.
little clips, so I associate cute with just short. I'm like, girl, just do the full thing. Like, I'm always scared to do the full thing. So
I feel
Um,
that.
yeah, that's basically where I feel like I'm at right now within yeah, my life check.
That's real. Thank you for sharing all that too. I appreciate like the context of like how you have grown creatively, like you were in a creative rut because of where life was at the time and just kind of getting yourself out there. It
Right.
sounds like by having fun, like
Yes.
just hitting
Just
up a homegirl sounds like just a good time.
exactly. Like not put too much pressure on it. It's not all these things of like,
Yeah.
we want this, this, this. We're like, we don't even know what we want. We just vibing. We just having fun. And if we find
Right. Yeah.
in the mix of that, cool. That's great. If we don't, we like, oh, we should have reached out and did this. Cool. That's cool too. You know what I'm saying? That's been just making me way more excited to like
Mm,
create. Yeah.
yeah. You were mentioning you're working on a documentary, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, can you
So
tell us about that?
yeah, I mean, the documentary I'm working on with my friend Dante. He is a USC film grad as well, and he's just taught me a lot too. So shout out Dante.
Hey,
But
Dante.
right, so I have a friend named Diamond Taylor. She actually
Hmm.
wrote like a autobiography what was that? Probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. Book was amazing. I read
Mm,
it in a day. But basically we're doing a
period.
follow-up from that book. And it's just really a story of I'm trying to think how to explain it. Just her life and her journey of getting sober and kids and single mom. Then we talk a lot about like sex work and attention and how social media and all that can change like your perception of self and things of that nature. So real raw,
Hmm.
like vulnerable, like kind of content growing up with family members that were, sex workers or whatever, pimps, prostitutes, things of that nature. So really kind
Yeah.
of unconventional story. Is like that's basically what we're working on. So we've been doing that slowly.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the name of the book?
Diamond in the Rough. Diamond. That's how you spell diamond and then diamond in the rough.
Beautiful. If this is y'all first time here, all the gems we talk about, we like to put in the description box with links if I can find them, so that folks don't got to go too far trying to find something. It's like everybody needs to be reading Diamond in the Rough because the
Right.
documentary
Yeah,
about to pop out.
exactly. Yes. Shout out to you for that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. So one thing I love about your creative journey that at least that I have been able to witness thus far is in the past couple years, it seems like you've been inching towards motion more and more and more, which is why I
Mhm.
had to stop you when you're talking about cute little videos. I'm like, no, I'm seeing the quality. And I'm curious about the direction you're taking with motion
Mhm.
because I already believe your photography is so phenomenal. And I'm wondering, was motion something that was always an idea? Did you grow into it? And you mentioned earlier where it was like you have this like maybe small fear of always doing the full thing. Does that
Mhm.
mean you want to do films? Like, what does that look like for you?
Right. So when I started, I actually started off doing cute little clips, video. I wasn't even doing photos. So I was in the Air Force and I was stationed in South Korea. Everything was new to me. So I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
just want people to understand and feel like what it feels like to be a black girl in the military in Korea at the time. So that's how I actually started. In the midst of that, I just fell in love with photography, to be honest. And so originally, my favorite movie is Crooklyn. And I watched that movie when I was probably 7 years old. And
Yeah.
that's what inspired me to want to do photo film. But it was just my first time seeing a little girl that looked exactly like me at the time and had the same family dynamics as me. And I didn't see that at all before that. So I was like, oh, there is a thing of us like actually being on screen and being in
Yeah.
movies and blah, blah, blah. And I just love how the lifestyle was like, it wasn't this super polished like story. It was like just a everyday like family, same family dynamics as mine, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to tell those stories. I think photography is not easy. It is easier as far as I can tell this story without having to incorporate a whole big team to do it. So I think that's why I fell into photography more and just ran with it because I was like, I don't have all the resources right now to hire out all the
Yeah.
people that I need to make it happen, right? So love photography still I think is a very like they still kind of coexist like photo and film, they go hand in hand in a lot of ways too. um but video and like cinema is something that I really want to take on now and do film. So yes, I do, to answer your question, is I do want to do full out films, start with short films and eventually just do full on films. And I think I do have the resources now. It's just about organizing it now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the whole thing in itself. So that's where I'm at right now. But I just told myself right now, just post whatever you feel like you can do. Like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter how big or how small. Post something. Just put it out there. Get your like creative juices flowing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. And eventually, like I said, we'll put out this documentary. I'm learning from Dante too because he has the more technical skills while I may feel super creative. I know that I don't know all the nooks and crannies in between that comes with it that I should know, and he's great at like guiding me and showing me like here's the actual rubric, and then let's add your creative flair to all these things to make it happen
Mhm.
and bring it to life. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love the opportunity to have a Dante, like that
Yeah.
homie that just already knows the thing you're trying to learn. And you're like,
Mhm.
I'm halfway there, or maybe like just not at ground zero. I
Yeah.
just need somebody who has the language that knows how to communicate what I'm
Yep.
trying to do. That's
Exactly.
beautiful.
Exactly.
Now, I want to get into the photography a little bit because for me, it's the colors. I'm about
Mhm.
to pull up your website right now.
Yeah.
Baby, color, 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 color. I love this.
Thank
So,
you.
I don't know if you still have this partnership or ambassadorship you were doing with Lightroom, but I remember a few posts where you were talking about like your color grading for your digital and your film photography. So, I
Mhm.
want to get into your thought process when it comes to post production. Is
Mhm.
it something that you're thinking about while you're shooting? Is it happening all in the editing process? And I'm just going to scroll through your website. So,
Yeah.
folks who don't know, no.
No, so I I want to say it's a little bit of both, but to be honest, I will say afterwards when I have time to sit with it because I feel like a lot of times when we're shooting, there's people in front of us, there's this going on, there could be a lot going on. When I'm at home and I'm able to just sit in front of it and it's just me, now I can really think about what did that mood and how was that feeling or how was that person that was in front of me? What did they give to me right at that point? So I will say it's a lot more post production planning and coloring. I really enjoy taking my time and making everything feel a little bit like cinema. Like I'm like if I was to watch
Mm-hmm.
a movie, like how would I want that movie scene to be like colored or feel and like what would it give? So that's kind of what I do when it comes to color grading. And yeah, Adobe Lightroom was the first thing that I used when I first started photography. And so for me it was just like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Or if
Okay.
it's working for you, like use it. I know that there's other things that people use too. But Lightroom has always just done me justice for what I need. And yeah, like color is that's the most important part to me. I feel like if I can
Yeah.
color it, that's what makes people memorize photos. Because a lot of times when I do meet people and they memorize photos, they always explain it by the color. And I noticed that. They're like, the one where it had like the orange and then the red and then the this. And I'm like, that's exactly what I want. Like they don't even realize
Right.
that's what I want. So yeah, coloring is definitely the biggest part for me.
It feels like all of your work to me is in conversation with each other, including the motion work that you do. And it's interesting because I would say you have a style, but it isn't necessarily that you're editing all of your work the same. Like there are some photographers who do that, which I mean, I think is an incredible skill to figure out how
Right.
to get a similar color grade for everything that you do. But I think for you, it's more of a style, an aesthetic of
Mhm.
general idea. For
Yep.
example, like this work, I think this color grading is really unconventional, especially if we're thinking about like, oh, this is probably a family, some
Right.
friends, or something like that. And then there's another one, this one right here, like the color
Mhm.
grading. Like I feel like, on some art school shit, somebody might be like, oh, this is color graded wrong. Like this
Right.
isn't right. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But
Exactly.
it feels like it lives right next to this photo, right
Right.
next to this photo. You know what I mean? But they're
Yeah.
so different, especially considering like your sports.
Mm.
How do you navigate changing between these, I guess, medias and not mediums?
Mm. As far as like the different you're meaning like the different type of stuff that I'm shooting?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say honestly it can be tricky because I do have clients who are like, "We love all your work and da 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 da," right? And they book me because they like the style of the work. But they're like, "For this brand though, can we just do it like to a
Uh,
sample?" And honestly, that's something that I'm still trying to navigate because I'm like, "You guys love this. Trust me to put just a little bit of flair of my style into what you're doing, and you might be surprised on how it's received." And a lot of times it is received really well when they just find they're like, all right, we'll just go ahead and go with that. And sometimes I gotta push for that. I do know that like when I'm working with bigger brands, they have strict guidelines on like, hey, the color has to look exactly like this because when we're selling this product, we can't like, on
yeah.
colors. And I get it. So I'm like, okay. And that's where you gotta step back and realize that project too is also going to fund whatever project that you want to do for your passion. So sometimes you do have to just take the back seat. Um, but most of the time, though, I feel like they are okay with like exploring and or experimenting. So they're like, all right, let's just see. And they're down for it and they love it. Or sometimes they don't love it. And then later on, I'll post it and it does so well. And then they're like, oh, this is great. You know what? And I'm like, why does it take for everybody else to validate it for y'all to
Right.
it's cool. So it is tricky sometimes, but I mean, I am who I am. Like you said, like my style of work, you see it, and if that's what you reach out to me for, then this is what should be expected. And there's so many different photographers, and that's why I'm like, I'm okay with recommending other people who I know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your style. Like I feel like this would be a better fit for this photographer. I do that all the time because I'm like, I could say yeah, but I know that it would not look how you guys are wanting from it coming from me. So I'd rather just pass it to
Yeah.
somebody that's their specialty. They'll kill that and do that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's really interesting learning throughout my career that a lot of people don't hire photographers based on their style. And that's like the thing you should be hiring a photographer for.
Right.
Like you would
Right.
want to, like, if you're looking to shoot a sports event, hit up the person that's already shooting sports, babes. Like,
It's that simple. It's that simple. That's what I
right.
feel like. But
I do think there's opportunity for like different takes on sports. Like, what does a sports editorial look like
yeah.
the Nai way or something
Right.
like that? Like, that could be a cool experimental thing. But yeah, that whole thing of like,
Yeah.
we really love your style, but I'd rather you do it some other way is
I do
like,
a different style. We're like, well, this is kind of my thing. Like for instance, how you just spoke to that with sports, right? So I've had opportunities to shoot athletes, and
mhm.
a lot of time I'm like, hey, instead of shooting them just traditionally on the field or on the court, like, can I do more like the lifestyle or them in between getting dressed for the game and blah blah blah. Like those are the kind of moments that I know will
Yeah,
like work better with what I do and how I'm able to capture it. And they're like, okay, like they're down to try that. So I like it like that because I still feel like
yeah,
there's a way to incorporate like your style and your eye into it. But like you said, like gotta sometimes just be flexible, trust the photographer too.
there you go.
And yeah,
Trust the photographer.
trust the
S-
photographer.
Speaking of titles, do you consider yourself an editor?
That's a good question. I mean, I edit all my work, so
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, but the thing is, why I guess maybe why I don't say you talking about photography editor or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the reason why I don't consider myself a editor is because I don't do like all the high end beauty retouching and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Most of my work though doesn't require. I don't do that kind of retouching on my work. Like I usually just do like simple things that will come and go on your skin, like regardless.
Right.
I'll retouch stuff like that, but like the full on high end, dodging, burning, and like frequency separation, and all that. I can do it, but I do it really lightly. I don't do it on like a high skill like level like that. So that's
For
why I
sure.
don't consider myself an editor because when I think editor, I'm always thinking like, oh, this person knows the ins and outs of Photoshop like
Okay.
repeat. So I'm like, I'm a photographer who knows how to. I'll say more so color grade though. Like I'm
Yeah.
color grading, so yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's why I ask. I think because it's so clear that you develop your editing style so well. I was just curious. Like, do you
Yeah. Right, right. Yeah, nah, I've never said editor, so but I do edit all my stuff.
Do you have, I know this comes up like in photography circles, maybe around potential ethics when it
Yeah.
comes to editing your own work. I'm
Mhm.
curious, how do you feel, I think as a established photographer who edits her own work, about the people who don't edit their work at all? Do you
At
think that's even
all,
something to be concerned about?
I think that I'm definitely about efficiency, right? So I do feel like you have to have some kind of creative input into your work because I'm like I don't know, what are we doing if you're not touching it at all? I'm like, it's a little confusing for me. But people that are like, again, like I know a lot of people that color grade and they pass it off to get the retouch, like the high end retouch. I'll do that on occasions if I have like batch shoots or whatever, like an engagement shoot or something, and they're very particular and they want super clean photos. I'll pass it to a retoucher, but I don't have any. I guess I would say I don't have any, like, any. I don't feel any type of way about it. I guess I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what works for you and that's what makes sense. Go for it, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I was recently having a conversation about it, and I wound up as like, I don't know. It feels kind of weird, but I honestly don't know how I feel about it. And
Right.
I had never really considered it before. I guess mostly just because I was thinking about my own process.
Right.
And similarly, I don't do a lot of high end retouching. I'll do some light stuff. And then
Right.
otherwise, I've had other folks retouch every once in a while,
Yep.
but also like not without credit. Like I'm
Exactly.
gonna identify that somebody else has touched this photo. Yeah.
Now that's something too, I think, to speak to, because the thing is, it's a little confusing because you'll see some of these photographers who are really big and they have a whole like machine again, like of
Oh,
editors behind
yeah.
everything, and they're just like shot by me, and then that's it. And we like, hold on, this is a whole like production, but
Right.
I guess they're like, hey, I'm charging whatever it costs to hire this team and blah 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 blah. But
I
if I'm
remember some of like the mid days of Instagram where people were really, photographers specifically, were really like fighting for credit.
right,
And a lot of the conversation on one end was like, I mean, you got paid. They don't have to tag you on the photo. They don't have to list you in the caption, XYZ. And I think that's a similar approach that those people are taking. And I just think it seems
yeah,
maybe
that's tricky.
disingenuous.
Yeah,
Because like if you think about, if it was a published image on like in print, the credits would be there. Regard, they got paid, the credits would be there. I mean, we're talking about motion film, the credits are there, they got paid.
right.
Like, what's the difference?
I think too. I think people are like, well, at least I like to think this is that they're like, well, I really love this person so much. They're kind of trying to gatekeep the person because they don't want everybody else
Yeah,
to use the person. But I'm like, yeah, y'all gotta get over that. But
yeah.
I think that's the reason why people do it. They're just like, mm-mm. Like, yes, this work is great, obviously, because you posted it, but I don't want y'all to have my person. So I'm just not.
Don't gatekeep people.
Exactly. Especially creatives. Like, that's how we are booked and
Right, word of mouth.
out there. Exactly. So, yeah, it's tricky. I just know for me, if you ain't gonna tag me, there has to be a big uh price tag attached to the usage of it. Like when I'm working with the companies and they do that full buyout, it's a hefty usage rate fee for that. And
Come
I know
on.
that. So I'm like, other than that though, I'm like, it's nothing to tag somebody who took the time to come out here and do it.
And work.
Yeah,
Right.
it's nothing. So yeah.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that was actually, I just had like extra questions. That was actually a little
Mhm.
tangent for me. It came up. And I
Yeah.
want to go back to your photography a little bit because something that I feel when I view your images, sometimes it feels like you're looking for something. Like it's
What do you
like
mean?
it's like it feels curious to me.
Mm,
I'm gonna pull it back up.
I like that.
So I think one of my favorite things about BTS photography in general is that it can feel a little curious, like, ooh,
Yeah.
who is this person? What are they doing? Kind of thing. But I think I even get that feeling in your portraits. Like I don't know, it feels like you're trying to expand a world. It looks like maybe even you are
Mhm.
searching for something, and it's less about what the subject looks like it's not their facial expression to me. It feels like the vibe of the room almost. Am I off basis? Like, obviously art is subjective, but like, is that something you think about while you're shooting?
I think I think yes, in a way. I didn't necessarily think of it in exactly in the way that you say it, but I think it's more so like um I want everything to feel a little bit relatable to somebody. It may not feel relatable exactly to you, but I want somebody to feel like I've been exactly here and felt
Mm-hmm.
like this, or and I guess that's where the curiosity comes in, because it's just not a straightforward photo. It's like there's something going on, there's something happening, the background, the texture, the whatever. I think that's definitely it. I think I just try and stray away from like this, just the straightforward photos. Like, I want
Mm-hmm.
everything to feel like, oh, this was kind of like a scene, or I've been there, or oh, I wonder again, like yeah, a little bit of like curiosity. Like my homegirl here, the reason why her face was like this is because she's albino, and their light sensitivity. So she legit was like, "Girl, hold on." And this is when I learned this. She was like, "That flash is too much." I said, "Let's do some
Mm,
with her eyes closed, like, and just play with it." And so we turned the flash off, and we started doing stuff like this just because. So yeah,
fire.
like just kind of again experimenting, like, but also who is this person? Why? Where? When? Yeah, like kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, your work is very LA. You made me think about that
Yeah.
when you were like, I mean, I want somebody to relate. It might not be you, but somebody can relate to
Right.
this. It's
Right.
so LA. And one thing that I personally love, I'm from Chicago, and one of the things that's like a stereotype of Chicagoans is how much we love being from Chicago. Like, I can't shut up about it. I'm from Chicago till I
Love
die.
that for you
You
though.
can't tell me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me nothing bad about Chicago. I don't give a fuck. But I feel that in your work. And so I love it naturally. Like, I love people who are super proud of where they come from.
Yeah.
And I think even in your, I guess, like your mission or your slogan
Mhm.
is represented for the underrepresented. And I think
Mhm.
that that probably lends itself to like LA culture.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, too is like sometimes people get confused on what Black LA culture is in here, because everybody is from everywhere, right? And so people have their idea of what they think LA is or what it should be. But I'm like, as someone who was deeply rooted in Black culture in LA, like this is what it is to me, right? So that's definitely why I take so much pride in LA, because it's like I'm so tired of the LA doesn't have this, LA doesn't have that. Where's the Black people in LA? Where's it this? I'm like, y'all just don't be around. Y'all don't know people from the city for real. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Go explore a little bit outside of the typical places. So that's another reason why I'm so big on like, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something real quick.
Yeah. And I, honestly, of course, like in moving out here, folks gave me the horror stories on some
Mm,
Hollywood, XYZ. And I moved out here right before the pandemic. So once I actually was able to start going outside and meeting people, I've felt very blessed in the people that I've met here. I think I've been treated very well by the city. But in
good.
particular, LA natives are
Yes.
cool as hell. I be like, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
Like, and it makes me
Gotta be somebody
realize,
here. Yeah.
right. It makes me realize that the narrative comes from transplants, like people not from here who are here for a specific reason or mission, and then finna bail out in a couple years.
Exactly. Exactly. And to
And
be
I hate that for
honest,
y'all.
just LA though. That's anywhere. You go anywhere, you go to the places that you hear about just in that city, but you don't go like with the people that know where to go and where to kick it. You gonna feel like overwhelmed, overstimulated, over whatever, because you're like you don't even know where you're supposed to be at. And so that's why anytime I go anywhere, whether it's in the States or out the States, I'm trying to find the locals. Like, what y'all doing on a regular?
Hello.
Like, let me know.
That be
So
my number one thing. I hate feeling like a tourist. Like, I want to really be where y'all be at.
right. Let me really experience what it's like in there on a regular, not on a, oh, this is what we want it to look like for people, you know? So,
Yeah. Speaking
yeah.
of LA culture, you're definitely adding to it outside of your photography and your motion work with face to face media. where y'all host events and produce all types of experiences. Can you talk a little bit about it while I pull up y'all Instagram?
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't even done it in about a year, but
Mm-hmm.
when we did, it was great. Like for me, it was the biggest thing was having creators of all mediums for one, but not having them sectioned off. I just hated sections and tables. I've always hated that, and I realized like for a long time it wasn't that I didn't like to go out. It's just I hated all the politics of like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the section, here's the one bottle. Everybody share this. 20 people on this bottle. Like it was just like mad. Like just weird to me. So I was like, where can we still have fun, turn up, we still get the LA vibe, but we still are welcoming to other people that aren't from LA, but just like love the culture. Where can we do that? And so that's really how me and Semi created that space. And we never had like guest lists or anything. We made it super like organic. Like, hey, all like it would be people like, hey, my artist is this, can we? I'm like, if there's tickets up there, pull up. Like
Right. Yeah.
kept it like that, and it kind of made people like, oh, they not playing, they really not, doing that. It made, I think it kind of like contributed to the like demand and everybody wanting to go because you don't know who's gonna be there, who's gonna show up.
Mm.
Oh, no, they're not having no stations or tables, so they're mingling with everybody. A lot of people that I knew were able to like connect with artists or people that they've been wanting to connect with offline because they just saw them in passing and kicked it. Um, love stories, all kind of things. So I loved what we were able to do it face to face. I think like right now, me and my partner that I was doing face to face with, we kind of just like when we started that, we was in our early 20s. We're about to turn 30 now, and we just made like our maybe just not parties was not the direction we both want to go
That's
in.
real. Yeah. I think
So
y'all still have contributed so much to LA culture in that way where I remember that being a part of it. The no sections thing and
yeah,
the idea that like there is no exclusivity here. Like
mhm,
we all come into a party to a party. Like
exactly. That's it. That's all. Y'all don't make this more difficult. Like that's
right.
yep. So
Was the volleyball team underneath face to face or is that something
yeah, it
separate?
was kinda like an extension of that, and same thing with that, I was just like, I have a hard time being consistent in the gym, and I always played sports growing up, so I was like, "What how can I stay active while, like, without going to the gym?" And for me, it's always been sports, so I'm like,
yeah.
"What does it look like if I do an adults volleyball women club?" So, that's where that got started. We did that for, like, 2 years, but I think which that's I'm not gonna go on a whole tangent on that, but having a team is important. You cannot do everything by yourself. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's something with both face to face media, volleyball, everything. It was just two of us. It's a lot to put on two people. And eventually it is going to flatline because it's like you're growing, the company's growing faster than what you can even keep up with, to be honest.
That's so real. Yeah.
So we had to take a step back, and that's just being so real. Like I had to take a step back. Again, we when we talk about life and all the other things going on top of that, it was like this is unrealistic. I literally cannot.
Mm-hmm.
So we may regroup and figure it out, but it has to be with a stronger like plan, right? We have all these ideas, but we don't think about what does it look like once it grows and gets bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes
That's
it
still
comes at
learning.
you fast. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think absolutely it's definitely still a win. I was able to go to at least two of y'all events, and every time I had a good time. And as
Good.
a transplant, it was beautiful to see, like, oh, for sure, people who are from LA are here.
Yes.
And that's a good marker for me. Like, if I'm
Hmm.
not feeling the culture of the place, I feel like I'm in the wrong place.
Right.
So I think I just say all that to say I'm grateful that y'all put in that work. It was beautiful. I really wanted to go to volleyball. One of my homegirls went consistently. It was just never at a time where it was like I was always doing something at that
I feel
time.
that. Look, life, girl, life,
You know,
life. But
life be life,
it be life, girl, be life.
child.
But yeah, no, I
But I
appreciate
absolutely, I do love your online presence in general. going back to that like creative transition you were talking about, you are pretty open. I'm sure you don't put all your business on the internet, but you
Mhm.
are pretty open about being in transition and thinking about the one we mentioned earlier on some personal life things. Now I'm thinking about face to face.
Mhm.
How do you manage as a creative who online is how we promote much of our work? How do
Right.
you manage like how much to be honest, when to be honest about like needing a break, being in transition, not
Mhm.
having the answers?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me think of how to answer that. Right. So
Yeah.
I've always been like just a vulnerable person because I always want people to know, like, for one, I am who I am. I'm not this perfectly polished person. That's always been my thing. Within myself, within my work, within whatever else I'm doing, I am never gonna give off a vibe of like, oh, this girl just has this perfect life. Like, no, I want to make it very clear from the jump. Like, listen, I have everything but a straight and narrow path, and that comes from the military to having a white stepdad and being pro-black and all kind of random stuff that people are like, girl,
The
what?
lore deepens. What the hell?
The lore is crazy. Like, it's so crazy, right? So I think, it's an important part of like, I know for me personally, I fall in love with the story of people. When I know people's like story too, it helps me shape and understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and things of that nature. And so I definitely don't. I don't share a lot, but I share enough. Like, I think for people
Yeah.
to understand, oh, this is kind of where she's at within her journey. Like, it's important for people to know, like, hey, right now I'm just not in my creative bag like I was, y'all. But I'll be back. I'll see y'all. I
Yeah.
don't need to tell y'all details on why I'm not all the way in my creative bag, but I'm
Right.
gonna just tell you this is it. This is where I'm at right now. I'll be back soon. Like, catch me in a little bit. So yeah, I've always been that way, I feel like. And I think a reason why, the last thing I'll say on that is the reason why I'm a little bit more into it now is because like I was in the military for a while, for 4 years, while I couldn't say anything about anything. And I didn't
Yeah.
have a voice. I didn't have like anything. And I was like, I can't wait to just get out and just be like, yo, I am who I am. I'm not what they want me to
Mm.
be and how I got to present myself to the world. So now I think I just take advantage of the freedom. I'm
Yeah.
like it is what it is. And I'd rather someone, not mess with me or mess with me because of she stood 10 toes on what she is, opposed to you thinking of whatever you thought it was. And then you like, oh, that's not even who she is. Like, I am who I am.
Yes.
Like.
I'm
So,
glad I'm so glad you brought that part up because what I think about sometimes as photographers or image makers in general, our relationship to being perceived. Our
hmm
work, we literally make work for it to be perceived. And
yeah,
sometimes that can be difficult. Like I said earlier, art is subjective. Sometimes getting feedback that you didn't expect can be uncomfortable. Being like, oh, that's what you
yeah,
thought. That's what you saw.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And
exactly.
thinking about that for our personal life, it is a little difficult for me to admit as an Aquarius, but I do
hmm
struggle with being perceived sometimes,
Yeah,
or I'm like, and I think even good or bad, like sometimes I struggle with the idea that somebody is putting me on a pedestal, similar to
yeah,
you, where it's like, I'm not perfect. I'm just figuring some
hmm
shit out too. And
yeah,
then when someone oppositely is perceiving me to be something that I don't think I am, I'd be like,
right.
where you get that from?
Oh, yeah,
So so
yeah,
when I'm thinking about how, we are sharing bits and pieces of our stories online, even more people outside of our circles, outside of the people that are within our reach, are able to perceive us when you're in these creative transitions. Are you struggling with perception? Do you have a grasp on like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. It don't matter to me.
mhm.
Like, what's your relationship with being perceived?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I'm very much like, I don't care, it is what it is. But then the other half of me is like, no, I'm human. It does matter to a certain
Yeah.
degree. Like, I have my moments like, okay. I think for me it's more so like I try and be consistent. And when I fail on being consistent on something that I was working on, I get in my head for myself. And then I'm like, well, I
Mm.
know other people notice too, because consistency is one of those things. It's not just you going to notice, other people going to notice it too.
Mm.
And it's just kind of, I think more than anything, it's just frustrating because I'm like, I really want to do this thing, but for whatever reason or not, I'm not able to, and I can't keep up, and then that gets like a frustrating feeling for me.
Yeah.
And then when people will be like, "Oh, do you still shoot?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, dang, that's how much I hate it posted. Like, honestly,
Like, what you trying to say?
like these things, like somebody had emailed me like, I don't know if you still like accept bookings like a couple of times, and I'm like,
That's
dang,
crazy.
what I'm getting, yeah. So like stuff like that, but outside of that, you're not for like everybody is not for everybody. It just is what it
Yeah.
is. Like I don't expect every person to love me, and that's okay. I would be more concerned if everybody was acting like I'm this perfect person and
You
everybody loves me.
know?
More concerned, like, nah, like, so yeah, like I perception plays a small part, but for the most part, I'm like, not like it is what it is, like kind of
I
thing.
feel
Yeah.
that. And
Mm,
then thinking about, being in this creative transition, which in ways I think we might always be, is like, a never ending thing, at least if you want to be growing.
right.
What are some things that are supporting you right now?
Well, for one, I have like my friend group, like they're just very supportive and open, like, cause they're like, girl, it's okay. If you need to take a break, if you need it, that mean a month, a week, a year, do what you need to do. Like, and I
Yeah.
love that I have that instead of people like, I don't know what you doing, girl, but you gotta get this together. Like, and I like that. Like they kind of just like, nah, we know you a hard worker. We've seen it in real time. Like, it's okay to like chill. So I appreciate that. Just really just my loved ones are everything. I feel good because when I like for instance, when everything was happening with my grandfather, I said, nah, nothing else is more important to me. And so I had moved to North Carolina for 6 months, but I moved back instantly. I was helped like, take care of my papa to the very end. Like I don't have no
Wow.
guilt and like I wish I would have. I wish I would have. I put a lot of things to the side. People that weren't able to understand respectfully just had that was my time for us to let go of that. And that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
And but I don't have any regrets in that. And I'm like, I did exactly what I needed to do. And I think that's why now I'm in a space where I feel like, all right, I can pick this back up, keep going. Like, love my papa is always gonna be with me. But it's like life, we gotta keep going. Like we gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing. And so yeah, like I'm just falling in love with it the way that I did when I first started again. So I love that for me.
I love that for you too. And shout out to your granddad. I'm sorry to hear that you lost him, but it's clearly like he and you for real.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Mhm.
Beautiful. Last but not least, we talked a little bit about the film work that you're doing, like the excitement of transitioning to motion. And I have noticed actually that you have been doing some influencer things. One thing that stood out to me was I saw videos of you going through your camera gear,
Yes.
and I think you're having a sale right now too, right? I saw that on
Yeah.
your website.
Yeah.
Okay, so two things then. Before we take a break, you want to tell us about your camera gear sale and how people can support that
Mhm.
and find some cool gear. And then secondly, about these partnerships and this influencing that you've been doing. Come on, photographer influencer.
Yeah. No, so my camera gear, I realize I'm a camera collector. Like I
Yeah.
like sometimes I use it for just one particular like instance that I know, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the camera if I can afford it at the time.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff too, I have doubles of. Like if I did like some PR things, and I'm like, I don't need two of the same camera. It's not that
Yeah.
serious. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I planned on doing it a couple weeks ago, but the problem was a couple of the cameras were untested, and even though I was told that they're good when I bought them, I don't want to not test the camera and then I'm like someone's like this doesn't even work. So
Yeah, that's real.
like two or three more cameras, like film cameras too, that I need to test and make sure that they're good and working. But yeah, for that you just go on my website and then there's a like a tab on the top and I think it says camera giveaway or something similar. And
Hmm.
then yeah, you just put your name in the email and then I'm gonna send a blast out at the same time to everybody once I list it. I think I have like maybe like 8 to 10 cameras to list. And then yeah, and then I also have like a lot of Polaroids. I had randomly came up on Polaroids because I ran into the official Polaroid photographer by accident
Oh my
and
God.
he was having an estate sale and gave away every bit of Polaroids that he had from Like, yeah. So he had boxes and boxes. He was like, have it all for $50.
What?
And
Oh,
so
you probably got some crazy Polaroids.
yes, all kind of Polaroids. So I'm gonna give away those for like the super low, like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, he blessed me. Well, I could pay it for it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's raw.
Yeah, he had like 20, 30 of every Polaroid cameras, and he was like, I don't need all of this. And so I took everything, and I'm like, I don't need all of
I
this.
don't need all this.
So
Damn,
yeah,
that's so real.
and then influencing kind of just came. Like I think once I started working with Adobe, it put me on the radar for a lot of like different camera companies and things. And so like that's where I did the stuff with Fuji. I did something with Nikon. I did something with Moment, and I enjoy it because they just value like my opinion on certain things, and they're not looking for me to be like, hey, I have to be this Fuji ambassador. I have to be this Nikon ambassador. They're just like, hey, tell the people what you were able to do with this camera and what you do like about it and maybe what you don't like about it and what kind of camera this may be good for. I mean, what kind of person this camera may be good for. And so
Mm,
specifically Nikon, I love that. I went on a creators camp with them in Texas and they let us try every camera, every lens, everything and just had a ball
wow.
in every scenario. So I was like, I honestly don't shoot Nikon, and they know this. And they were like, it's totally fine. We just want to see what can we do to be with our competitors. You tell us,
Yeah.
and I respect that because they're like, we just love all y'all's like creativity, and tell us what you need from us to make us a top choice for you. So
That's also beautiful because one thing I do love about your online presence is while I have noticed that you have been making some of those videos, you
mhm.
haven't necessarily turned into what a photography influencer might look like, which is no shade. I think there are a couple photography influencers that I really, really enjoy,
Mhm.
but you still look like Cloud Nai on Instagram.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
And I love that you have this good balance of like, I'm still shooting what I want to shoot, going where I want to go.
right,
We'll even get like some photos of just you for no reason. And
exactly.
then you get this nice residency you did with Nikon.
Good. And I'm glad you said that because when I say that's genuinely how I'm trying to keep it, because I'm like, I'm me personally, and like you said, I love the people that do that. That's great for them and it
Yeah.
works. But I don't want to do just a whole page of like, here's how to look at this camera. That's not me. I'm not
Yeah.
a techie geek like that. I genuinely
Yeah.
enjoy certain things and love to share what I do know, but that's not my lane. So I'm like, I dabble in it when it makes sense for me, but they also have to be okay with Nailah being who she is on Instagram and whatever. So yeah, I work with people that are okay with that and they are.
Yeah.
So
That's fire. Shout out to a woman that does what she wants. Nice.
hello, hello, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, this feels like a good place to take a break. So we'll be right
Okay.
back, y'all. And we're back. So, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, it's our 6 month anniversary. And for that, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to add a new little segment. Something that's very important to me is music, especially on sets. I create so much damn near because of the music I listen to. I'm super inspired by really incredible writers, lyricists. And so I was like, how can I incorporate music to the podcast? I really want to. I don't know how. And I was just like, oh, I could just start asking people what's a song they love playing or like recently played at a shoot. So they could just like put us on and I can create a cool photographer life check playlist. So,
I love that.
right.
I
Thank you.
love that. That first of all, that's a great idea because I'm always like, so hey, you could get on it. They be like, no, put whatever on. If somebody just, if I had a playlist, a go to, and I know it's always getting updated,
You
yeah,
know what
like
I'm saying? And it'll be like a nice different vibe every song type of thing.
yes,
Thank you. Okay. And so I feel
yeah,
like you're
you
the
take right
great
back.
person to start this off with.
Ooh, I'm a music head too. Love me some music. I'm trying to
Yes.
think, what song is like my go to right now? Dang, that's hard. I'm gonna say depends on the vibe. Am I chilling?
Right? Now
It
I
depends.
did consider that like, damn, this can be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like sometimes I'm just like in my chill vibe and I want them to feel cozy, but then sometimes I'm like, all right,
Right.
depending on the client, we try to turn up. I'm gonna
Exactly.
say, okay, this is like a little remix kind of song, right? It's on
Okay.
Apple Music, but it's random. It's Destiny's Child. This is the remix by Timbaland. That's what it's called. But every time I play that, people are like, "Oh, what is this?" Like know the song, but then they hear the flip and they like, "Oh, that's one of the ones." So this is the remix. Say my name, Timbaland remix by Destiny's Child. It's one of the ones.
Come
Good little
on,
vibe.
beautiful. Wow, the first song on the playlist. Come on, clap it up, clap it up.
I love music, so I'm glad you asked that question.
Perfect. Okay. So our next segment is honestly most folks' favorite segment so far, which I have been loving hearing because it's one of my favorite things to think about. This segment is called Photographs Not Taken. And I want to know, what's a photograph you wish you would have taken but never did?
It's crazy. It's a lot of those, but
Yes.
but I will say one that always sticks in my head, and it's so random. I had got hired to shoot like a black travel group when I was in Colombia. So we went on a trip.
Hmm.
And we were deep in what's called Palenque, Colombia, and it was a group of little school girls, and they was riding on
Aw.
each. They was on each other's like back, carrying each other. They had to been like 8, like 7 to 10 years old, and they just their school uniforms. The color palette was fire. Our where we were at was kind of like a rural area, but I'm like, they don't even know this
Oh.
is a perfect photo, and I just didn't. I didn't have my camera with me, like, and I was there to shoot the trip, and I didn't have my camera with me. And I was just so sad. And I think about that all the time because I'm like, that was a golden photo. Like, if you would have saw how those little girls were playing.
Nah, it's that feeling right there. Like, y'all don't even know that this is a perfect photo right now. And that's why I wanted to do this segment because the same, like I have so many of these photos in my head that I wish I would have taken and that I'm seeing every day. I add a new
Yep,
one basically every day.
every day I always see something. I'm driving. I'm like, dang, that would have been a good photo.
Yes, every time.
Yeah, that's the one though.
I damn near can see it.
Yeah, it was so fire. And I was like, dang, these little girls just minding their business, having fun, playing around, just got out of school. And they were so young, but I guess they're so used to like walking home alone by themselves out there. Well, with their
Mm-hmm.
with their other friends, and it's like kind of normal. You're not gonna see that really in LA, a bunch of young girls just walking by themselves all the way down, but they used to,
Right.
and everybody knows in that community these are the girls from the school. They're not tripping off of them. And I love that because they're just comfortable. They're not thinking about nothing. They having fun. They just got out of school. And I was like, dang, that's a perfect moment. And I missed it. But
Damn.
I
I
still
can
see
see
that
it too.
photo. It was a really good photo. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My photograph not taken today is a photo I saw a couple days ago. There was a protest. It was a pro-Palestinian protest, and it was on a bridge in Burbank. Yeah, I think I was in
Uh-huh.
Burbank. So I'm not driving across the bridge, but I see them. So of course
Right.
I do my little hunk. And I was like, you know what? I need to go back. And so the
Right.
next I go back over the bridge, and at that moment is when I see it. So for the bridge, it's like the gate behind them. And it's honestly not a big group. It's maybe like 20, 25 people. A couple of them
Mm-hmm.
got signs. But the moment I looked over, one person was holding the flag, and it was almost like the wind perfectly like flapped it, and
Yeah.
the person behind them was just tall enough for them to be like yelling at the same time. I don't even remember
Oh,
what they were
that's
yelling,
fire.
but it was just hard. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Powerful.
oh my
Like,
god.
yep.
Yes, it felt so powerful, and I was like, oh, this is such a good photo. So I had to tap a couple more times like, okay, y'all,
Right.
yeah, y'all.
I really love it. That's
But
dope.
yeah, and it's funny in that way. Much of the photographs that live in my mind in this way are street photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not consider myself a street photographer, which is probably
Right.
why, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always those moments where people just really feel genuine. They feel like they're
Exactly.
carefree, like those kids where it's like they're just
Yes.
living their
They're
life.
just
They're not worried
existing.
about,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
And those
so
are
beautiful.
always the best. Like you can't plan that moment. It just happens, and
Yeah,
that's who they are. We not like, hey, can you look to the left, look to the right? They just,
exactly.
yep. So I feel that. That's fire.
Gorgeous.
Gotta get the next
Okay. Right, gotta get the next one.
one. Gotta get the
I'm
next
trying to do better about keeping my camera on me. We'll see. We'll see how she
Same,
does.
same. I always say that. I'm like, girl, you need to bring the camera out somewhere.
You know, the balance of like trying to be present versus being a photographer. I don't know. It's a hard one.
Heavy on that. Yes, I get you.
Okay. So next segment is the gear don't matter, but I love this segment because I do believe the gear don't matter.
Hmm.
One thing people love to ask photographers is, "What camera are you using? What camera are you using? What camera is that?" Well, the camera didn't take the photo, babes. The photographer
Right.
did. You
Oh,
know, one thing I always say: if you got the eye, you gonna make some shit shake. It don't matter what you're using.
exactly.
But we love our tools. The
Hmm.
tools help us create the things, and so I want to honor the things that we use. So my question to you is, what's your favorite piece of equipment to use? It does not have to be a camera.
Oh, okay. Well, it is a camera. My favorite. It is a camera. So I think what else though? Like outside of just the sun, because I love shooting in the sun. But
Come on.
my Pentax, I just love it, and the reason I love it, my
Mm,
Pentax 7 II, is because it is just intentional. Like that is a very intentional camera, and like I'm not just trigger happy, just shooting stuff. Like I'm really like, oh, this I'm seeing something, I'm taking my time with it, and the photos always come out golden on that camera. Like I love it, and so that's why I really like my Pentax because it allows me to slow down, take my time. I'm bringing it somewhere that probably really means something to me, or with someone that really means something.
mm,
So, I really enjoy shooting with that camera. But I agree with you on whatever. I always tell people when they ask me what camera they should get, whatever camera you can afford.
there you
That's the
go.
camera that
Exactly.
you should get, because if that's what's in your budget, do what you can with that, and it'll bring you more so that you can afford whatever else that you need. Like
That's
that's
it.
reality. Yeah,
Beautiful. Okay. We adding that pin sacks to the arsenal.
yeah.
And our last segment is called Shoot Your Shot. So, this is the opportunity for you to talk about somebody or a company you would love to photograph or work for. Big, big
Mm,
dream.
mm. Okay, so I don't have a particular company, right? But I will say that I would love to manifest shooting a long term project, saying I'm go somewhere for 3 to 6 months, and they're like, "You're just shooting this community or this blah blah blah, whatever this thing
Mm,
is." Like, I want to be fully immersed into it for some time, and it's an intentional project where they don't need it in real time. We're taking our time. They're really like letting me like just flow and enjoy it, and so that is a dream for me.
mm-hmm.
Preferably somewhere, I don't know where in Africa, but somewhere in Africa.
Come
And
on.
that's a dream. Like that's a dream.
Yes.
Claiming.
Okay. Yes, we putting our manifestation powers together, which is why I created this segment because I know you're listening, person with a long term project idea that needs a
Yes.
photographer.
Hello.
Hit up Nai. Be like, actually, Nai, you're the perfect person for this.
Say it. Say it. I
Come
receive it. I
on.
receive it.
Yes.
What about you?
Oh my gosh, nobody has ever asked me before. I have many, many goals.
Hmm.
First one. I think, I really would like to shoot for somebody like a topicals.
Love
I've been
that.
interested in some product photography, but that feels a little bit more like lifestyle.
Exactly.
And I would really love to shoot for somebody like topicals or maybe even like bioma, like that really good, gorgeous, creative direction, the popping
Yes.
colors, stuff like that.
Love that.
Ah,
Love that.
thank you for
I already see that.
asking.
I already see that for you. Yep. Love that. Okay.
There we go. Come on.
Okay.
Wow. On our birthday. Love that. Our half
Yes.
birthday.
I love that.
Nai, thank you so much for being here. This has been such a beautiful conversation. Can
Thank
you
you.
let the people know where you would like to be found?
Yes, you could follow me on Instagram at Cloud9, CLOUDNAI. And my website is www.cloud9.com, but with two eyes. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the great conversation. Thank you for making it so easy flowing. It's very much
Absolutely.
appreciated. I just felt like I was just talking to the homegirl. We just chopping it
That's
up.
the
So
goal. That's the
thank you.
goal.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. So happy to have you. And for those of y'all listening, y'all can follow us at Photographer Life Check everywhere you get your podcast. But don't forget to also subscribe on YouTube. You can watch us there or on Spotify and on Instagram. Follow us there,
Okay.
Photographer Life Check. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Yay.